Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series of videos I've been doing for a little while. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, and folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. I want a better snap. Can we get a better snap? No. There we go. That was pretty good. But anyway, folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, I'm also wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm in the truck and I'm wearing the grody work clothes, that means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. Definitely the case today. I was about to say definitely not the case today. Definitely the case today. I went over there. I got off work. It's actually the start of my weekend. I got a couple days off. I'm like yay. Planning to go out and do a little bit of stuff later on, provided I feel up to it. And, but I went over there. I got off of work and I was like, man, go over there. I'm going to hit up Dunkin because it's on the way. And, fuck it, man. I haven't gotten anything from Dunkin in a little bit. So I went over there and boom, just got through reviewing this. This is their toasted white chocolate latte. But they had another new item, and I was like, all right, I'll review that. Because that's how this whole thing works. And legitimately, to be fair, sometimes items will come out that I will hear about, that I will actively hunt for, and be like, okay, try to, do the thing. But a lot of times it really is just, I just run into this shit, and I'm like, yeah, okay. So, what is the thing that I ran into today? What happened to the thing? Are you the thing? Yes! Okay, because I forgot what they were called for a second. Well, folks, it's boom! It is from Dunkin. And it's specifically, boom! It's their loaded hash browns. Because they have little hash browns, you see. What are they loaded with, I hear you ask? They are loaded with Texas queso with jalapeno and crumbled bacon, which sounds fantastic. How much did you cost? $3.49, just in case you're interested. Which, I don't know, man. $3.49 seems like a little bit much for, like, when I saw the thing on the display, the cup looked ginormous. It was like, yes! This, let's try to, can we go over there, kind of break it up a little bit and try to make it look a little bit sexier for the, no, it doesn't. Sure. Can I do a thing? For the thumbnail. Sure. Let's try a thing. I'm pretty good with Dunkin's hash browns. They're not as good as McDonald's hash browns. Those things are unearthly good. Dunkin's are good. And they continue to be good in this instance. They don't... One thing I'll say about Dunkin's, it both works for and against them compared to McDonald's. Because McDonald's, you just get that biscuit. Just that straight up crispy biscuit of hash brown. And there's no way that it hasn't been created by some sort of alchemical means, okay? There is no way that science had anything to do with it, man. That is purely a magical creation. I'm pretty sure if you go over there and eat enough of them over a lifetime, some sort of magical gate will open up and you'll get sucked into some world, be over there and be like, oh my god, woo! That's a whole thing. It's, like, was it Flame of Recca? Maybe? It was an anime, but I can't remember the name of it. Flame of Recca is an anime, though. But, I want to say that's it. But, whereas comparatively with the with the hash browns from Dunkin', they're a little bit more natural feeling, like they got a little squish to them, Honestly, these are really good. Like, really good. I'm glad they didn't go batshit crazy with the queso. Because I really, in my head, expected this thing to be mostly like queso. But, it covers it. It gives it a nice cheesy taste. The jalapeno aspect is definitely more, it's a flavor thing. More than like a heat thing. Like, you're not really getting any heat from this. But there is like a little bit of a zing. I think that's where the jalapeno aspect comes in. Which is a little bit disappointing, actually. I think I would have liked a little bit more zing in that regard. But, and I mean, the bacon, it's not bad. I appreciate the fact that it kind of goes with the texture of the hash browns. Because, you got the crispy exterior. Bacon's crispy. It kind of works with that. And I mean, yeah, it just works, You got potatoes, you got cheese, you got bacon. That all works. That's basically what a fucking baked potato is. I like these. I think they're good. I think in some ways, they exceed my expectations. In other ways, might be a little bit lower than my expectations. Kind of depends on how you want to look at it. Because the thing is, fundamentally, I have to look at this through the lens that these are a Dunkin' Donuts food item. Which is, to say, extremely hit or miss. If you watch my channel for a while, you know I've reviewed a lot of Dunkin' stuff. I have an entire playlist of just Dunkin', food and drink items that I've reviewed over the years. And some of their stuff is really good. Some of their stuff is dog shit. So it's very... So, when it comes to reviewing a Dunkin' item, I always try to keep that in mind. Is it going to be one extreme or the other? This one is not on the extremist of extremes, but it's definitely more in the positive than the negative pile. So that's the thing. It's like, on the one hand, for being a Dunkin' item, it probably exceeds my normal expectations a little bit. But there is also the other aspect of that, which is that if it were a non-fast food version of this particular dish, what would that be like? That's kind of where my brain goes. And my brain envisions this, like, truly amazing and, wonderful and decadent thing, right? This isn't that. It's somewhere in, it's definitely not that. But it's not the highest of highs of what I've had in terms of Dunkin' offerings. But I do ultimately like it overall. Like, it works. The hash browns still taste good. The bacon itself is actually pretty decent for what it is. I mean, it's just little bites of it, but I don't think they use, like, the artificial bites. I think they actually got bacon and chopped it up. And the queso's nice. It's got a nice, almost kind of nacho cheesy kind of flavor to it. I'd like a little bit of zing. That would be about it. But I appreciate the flavor. Yeah, they're good. Now, all that said, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? I'm going to go with maybe sometimes and sort of. I think for me personally, the thing is, every so often, Dunkin' comes out with a breakfast item that really impresses me. It's not super common, but it does occur. And usually when that's the case, I make a real effort to go over there and include that in my occasional fast food breakfast outings. I don't do this all that often, but, when I do. Would this be one of those? That's what I'm asking myself. And the answer is no. I would get it occasionally. If it were just a standard menu item, I would probably go over there and pick it up sporadically. I'll go over there and get myself a sandwich and some loaded hash browns. But as a singular item and, kind of being like a special item since it's probably going to be limited time, it doesn't quite reach those heights for me. But it is something that sure every now and again I would get. Because it does taste good. It's just not super special. It's good. If I'm recommending it to people, like I said, it is a new item at the time I'm doing this, and it is most likely going to be a limited time thing. I'd say give it a shot. It's a decent enough breakfast item, and, if you enjoy hash browns, excuse me. Like I said, it's just taking stuff that we already know works, just cheese, potatoes, bacon. Don't worry about the heat. There's none. But it's got a little bit of a zing to it, and it's kind of a nice way to maybe go over there and, mix up your early morning fast food breakfast run. It's an interesting option to have, even if it's not that interesting. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. You go over there, have yourselves a truly McDonald's hash browns-tastic rest of your life, because I'll be honest with you, even though these are good and I like them, I would still take one of those goddamn freaking McDonald's Chimera hash brown biscuits over these. One day those things are going to be currency. Like when the world has basically just been turned to ash and we're all living out on the Badlands. The gangs of the Golden Arch Gang, that's what you'll have to go over there and pay them off with, will be those biscuits. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in your world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me, I know it. I live it. I'm out there with it. It can be a hell of a thing, folks. Some days just really suck and, just are what they are. Other days are going to be better. And some days, it's a mix. And all you can do is aim for the good days, appreciate them when they come. But when you deal with the bad ones, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there, maybe you're going to go over there and you're going to be like, Brandon, you're crazy, your nonsense and your funny stories about things. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to eat this McDonald's hash brown biscuit. And then sure enough, magical gateway opens up, you get pulled in. Now you're over there. It's like a whole fucking card captor Sakura thing, which, boy, oh boy, am I pulling a name out of my ass with that one. I mean, to be fair, Card Captors it's fairly popular, right? I only ever watched an occasional episode here and there, but yeah, I know, I think in Japan it was a much bigger deal. But now you're over there, you're going over there, you're fighting all kinds of McDonald's monsters with your deck of hash brown cards. And, maybe you go over there, you solve some problems. Eventually you end back up in the real world. Everything's good, everything's kosher. Until, boom, looming shadow makes its way over the horizon. Whatever you were just dealing with followed you into our world. Now what are you going to do? That's what I ask you. Or conversely, I don't know, maybe go watch Cardcaptor Sakura. Or read it. I don't, like I said, I only ever watched a couple episodes, back when it was on the WB. The WB, that was the whole thing. Is the WB a thing anymore? I don't think they are anymore. I mean, Warner Brothers is still a thing, but I don't know if the network is still a thing. I don't know. Bye.